So you want to turn this into a sports conversation? Let's do that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we talk about young wrestlers under 30. And of course, every summer, as we wait for the NFL season to start, we always look at quarterback tiers, right? It's the best. Mike Sando has the best quarterback tiers list. I mean, that's the quintessential column I look forward to every year, the quarterback list. Okay. So when we go through that list, and I don't have the official list, but off the top of my head, it's like, it starts with Patrick Mahomes. All right. And that's a guy that's under 30. So compare that to wrestling in this regard, right? So MJF or Rhea Ripley or Vikingo. I mean, who's the Patrick Mahomes of wrestling? Under 30. Is that MJF?
See, I would make a case it could be both MJF and Rhea, which I think speaks well for men's and women's wrestling. They're both legit enough stars.
I would say it's Rhea.
Okay.
But again, I think I put Rhea at number one. Like, I just think she's got it all. Like, she's running. I mean, how many? So he does things. Patrick Mahomes does things that we've never seen on a football field before, right? Like and Rhea is doing things that I don't think we've really ever seen before. We've seen female managers of like factions before, but Rhea is the undisputed leader of the second most popular faction in WWE. Like, she's the one trying to bring peace on Monday night between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Like, she's the one she's the only one who gets cheered in that group. Like, everyone, like they were going through on the opening segment of Monday Night Raw. Of course, they boo Dirty Dom and, they boo Senior Money in the Bank. But then Rhea lifts her title. Everybody cheers for her. Like, even though she's a heel and everybody knows that, they still... Like, she's associated with Dom, who they boo out of the building every night, and yet she's the one who's super over. I think it's like MJF is spectacular, but Rhea's doing things that we haven't seen women do before in professional wrestling in terms of her character work, and obviously she has it in the ring. Like, to me, she's the complete package.
Well, bro, it's when we talk about young wrestlers and we look at that list and say, hey, maybe it's just top heavy, but not a lot in the middle or the bottom. Just think about the quarterback list the same way, right? What we talk about first for brevity, it's Mahomes, it's Josh Allen, it's Joe Burrow, it's Justin Herbert, it's Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, guys like that, right? Well, just same like the quarterback list, it's top heavy with young stars, and then it's that big middle, the Kirk Cousins of the world, and then there's that young bottom where it's like all these guys are proven and unproven in like tier 4. Does that make sense?
But to that point, though, like a lot of the names you mentioned at the top of the QB list, like they're young guys that we sort of see like, hey, this is the new face of the league, like the Josh Allens of the world. I think you can count Lamar still sort of there. But to Gabe's original point, like when you look at this, like how many of these guys and girls do you look at and say, okay, they're going to main event WrestleMania one day? MJF, Rhea, and then...
Wow. Well, that stopped quickly.
Right. Like, I think that's the biggest concern right now, if you're like a wrestling standpoint.
Yeah, but at this, I guess when you think about it through the prism that J Hood just proposed, like there are new young quarterbacks coming into the league every year, that are going to be backfilling that list, especially when everybody wants to talk about in the NFL next year. Oh man, next year's draft class, those top 2 quarterbacks and Caleb Williams and Drake May, so like, and there are going to be young people coming into wrestling all the time. And on top of that, like Aaron Rodgers is about to turn 40. Aaron Rodgers is in the top tier, but he's going to be gone soon. LA Knight is 40. And LA Knights, like you can have a long career and sometimes take your time in terms of finding your footing in professional wrestling. So maybe not having just a stud, this person's going to main event WrestleMania, this person's going to main event WrestleMania. Maybe that's kind of always been true because of how long some of these careers can actually be.
So Aaron Rodgers is AJ Styles.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's actually, I don't hate it.
And I think that there's similar like thoughts also on some things. I think
used to have similar hair.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers used to have that hair when he was, younger in Green Bay, but
post 40 still can do it just like AJ Styles, just waiting for the opportunity. So kind of the same thing. So I just look at that list and say, okay, these women and men are under 30, but I think that Broad's pretty hits it right. It's like, who's going to main event WrestleMania besides the top 2?
No.
It ain't Vikingo, and it's not
No.
Willow either.
No, I love Vikingo. He's never going to be in WWE.
So.
Like.
Yeah, I mean, some of the Perry's too small for WWE. Like, I mean, Dom, I don't know about main eventing, but like, you can't ignore the reaction.
Dom. Like,
NXT ratings are going up with Dirty Dom.
Dom is going to main event WrestleMania. This show will end. We will shut the doors on this show. Him, and it very well could happen in 5 years.
I was about to say
Braun Breaker versus Dom, main eventing WrestleMania. There you go.
Like they could do a mixed. They could do a mixed tag match. Like if they find the right mixed tag group to like, because remember again, there's 2 nights of WrestleMania now. Like I could see him and Rhea if they find the right mixed tag partners. They could get a story hot enough because of those two that they could main event night one. They're never gonna. I mean, Dom's not gonna close down Mania.
Cody and Brandy. That's how Cody will get his Mania win in that match.
We're already there. Already got it. Oh, well, turns out Jay Hood just quit the show. So we'll move on. What do we